Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today is actually episode number 175 for our Minecraft Survival World series here, Building with Whip, which is just crazy to think about. Over a year and a half ago, we were in this city here building things up, and it's crazy to see the amount of progress we've had throughout the world. I'm gonna close that door. And it's just been, the support from everybody recently has been insane. I'm at a loss for words of how to describe everything like that from all you out there. So thank you all so much. We're just going to be quickly stopping off in this city here just to show you guys around a little bit, do a little bit of wandering. And first I want to start off by saying a big old thank you to all of the people who are supporting me above and beyond over on Patreon. You guys are really awesome. And as you see us walking through around the world here, you guys are going to see your Minecraft characters inside the world. Everybody over on Patreon who has sent me their Minecraft character names so far, I have managed to get everybody here placed inside the world as of Friday, February 1st. So February 1st, I was able to get everybody in. Since then, if you funded since after that, fortunately, you won't be in on the world download for as your character had being placed in here. But thank you guys so much for that. Anyways, just quickly to recap all of the patrons to give them a big old recognition for everything. We got MC Player 1030, we got Mightier 314, we got Steadier Nut 499, we got Minea, we got Alberta Cowboy, Dragon Tech 5, Hugo United, Sir Regiforth, Patron 2000. Sorry, some of these names are a little weird. We got Toxic Thunder, we got Nime, we got Wooder Soul, we got FYO Lime, we got Call Frenzy, Silky Jumper, Ninja Potatoes, Bubba Biggins, Ruru the Kangaroo, Pixel 1606, Wiki, Felix, the MD Reaper, we got Z, we got Cavendish AB, Dracoon, Neon Chicken 9000, Midget Gravy, Bryson Mott, Chris Brick, Orion, Goatfather, Das Gotlos, I don't know, that one's we got Free Willy, we got Campus Squirrel, Little Who, Garth, Durhees, it's not English, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Marzuki Sky, and I have one question. Everybody on there, thank you all so much for the support. That is a big list of people to welcome into the Patreon community. Thank you all so much for that. Hopefully you all have been enjoying the Patreon server as well. It's been really cool seeing everybody on there. Over the weekend, I'm recording this one a little bit in advance here, but there was planned to do a live stream on Sunday morning to just chill on the server for a little bit, hang out with everybody. So hopefully that did work out and hopefully it was fun. I don't know, we'll see. I'll let you guys know here in the next few days how that turned out. Anyway, in today's tour, I wanted to catch you guys up on a few things that we have been building here in the last 25 episodes. If you want to see the big world tour of the entire world, be sure to go check out the episode 150 world tour and download. We did that with Welsknight, touring around the world in a few different parts, and it came out to be a little bit over an hour of footage. So in today's episode, I want to do a quick tour update of everything that we'd been doing since then. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We built up a winery, we built up a giant castle, we did a little bit of work around the city, and overall there was just a lot of things that happened on in the world, which has been super fun. It's been amazing seeing all the different projects start to come together. Previously, we were building things up in certain areas and hoping that they would start to bring themselves back together and really start to line up into new places. So it's cool seeing all those things starting to finally come in here together, which is just amazing. Speaking of which, we can see basically everything we worked on in the last episodes right here. You can see our big old vineyard winery area right here. And then off in the distance is our castle, which is just amazing. It's been so fun building this thing up here. And speaking of which, I think this thing will look a little bit better in shaders. Ah, yes, much better. I think this is where we can go from here. All right, so this guy right here is our vineyard. We have done a lot of things in this area. This thing originally right here was a rose garden, which we turned into some big vats of wine where we could have the wine out here sitting. Maybe people are out here crushing the grapes to get it to come down here where we can barrel them up right there, take them inside our big old manor building right there, and take them down below so they can store and rest and do all their winemaking things. I don't know how the process of any of that stuff goes. It's been very fun working on this one though. We added in a few little houses in throughout here, and you can see a few of our player heads here for a few different ones of the patrons, so they're chilling in here. This guy, I don't know, he looked like an owl, so I gave him an egg. And then, yeah, so there's a lot of little things like that around the world now. You'll be able to jump in here, go and find your own character if you would like to. Be sure to do that, and then send me a screenshot over on Twitter if you guys can figure out, or on Discord, that works too, if you can figure out where your Minecraft character is placed inside the world. We're going to be stopping by, seeing a few of them, like this guy right here in the side of the world as we're going around. A lot of the areas where we didn't include the interior, the character models are not sitting, and I tried to make everybody visible from the roadside because I didn't want to hide anybody behind doors, so you felt less included in the world. I trying to have everybody so that it would be on a pathway that you're walking around. A few are a little bit more hidden and a little bit more fun things if I just kind of came up with something on the spot. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. We do have a few down here which are just chilling down here, drinking some wine, hanging out. We got a chicken eating chicken. And then we got this guy drinking some wine right there. We got all that stuff. The castle's looking pretty freaking amazing in the background. I've just had so much fun working on this area. It was really fun coming in here and building up a giant vineyard area, which is a little bit different than what we've done really before inside this world. We've never really done this large scale farming build. Something like this along those lines was really, really fun to try and tackle and come up with something new for that. We do have a big old farming region over in this area beyond here, beyond our derpy windmill, which we still do need to remake. Yep, that's on the list. Don't worry, guys. I touched it up a little bit while we were building the vineyard, but it needs another attempt for that one. But down here, we're coming into a village that was built well over a year ago. This was actually a Minecraft original generated village here, and we completely rebuilt it. So you got a few villagers running around in here. I tried adding a bunch of doors in here so that they would start breeding and hanging out. We got another person selling some sunflowers right there. And this leads us up into the big custom biome project that I do want to be getting back to soon. If you guys want to see this one come forward here, let me know. Should we jump back over to this soon? I'm thinking as soon as 1.14 launches, we're either going to go ahead and do a village remake, another one like similar to this guy, but a different one throughout the world. We have a few villages that I think would be fun. Reworking the 1.14 villages, obviously a different style than this guy, but we also have the train project up here. The reason I'm waiting for 1.14 is stairs and slabs for actual stone instead of all of the cobblestone ones we have up in here. But let's go ahead and take a little flyover to see what the mountains are looking up like here. For those of you who haven't seen this, it's a giant custom biome project. All these blocks are placed by hand. We are over 200,000 dirt blocks placed at this time, which is just insane to think about. Coming up here, we did a holiday build during this season actually as well, so it's a good thing we did come up here because I kind of forgot about this guy. We got a little airplane right here that was set to be delivering all of the presents around the world, so this is supposed to be like a dwarven version of Santa. So we got a little bit of a dwarf village up here. Got a nice river running down the mountain, all icy and everything, and these guys are just up here in the snow, and their airplane here was taken off ready to go to deliver all the presents throughout the world, which I thought was very, very fun. I really like this one. Had a lot of fun building that up. It was really fun trying to build up a little tiny town again. Whereas everything else we have been focusing on has been just massive. Everything's just been insanely massive that we've been doing throughout the world. So there's been a lot of things going on around. As you can see, we are loading in all of this place that has been completely redone over the months and months of working inside this world. But it's been very fun every single week being able to come back into one Minecraft world and really try and create some amazing things out of it. I never really thought I'd be the person to play in a single survival world forever until I started this one, and now I never want to leave and I don't want to play in any other worlds, so that's why I'm consistently building in here. The castle over there is looking pretty awesome. We'll be checking that guy out here in just a second. Coming down this way, we have added a few more things dotting along the roadway coming into the city here. One thing I would like to rework in the area is this front gatehouse. I think it's a little too small for what I want it to be. We got another patron right there. I think overall we need to just make the gate area at least a little bit bigger. So I was thinking we could redesign the towers and all that stuff and make this area just a larger entrance, because we are going into this big grand city, and I feel like a 5 block wide by 3 block tall gate is probably not big enough for us to get into that grand city, especially when we have a cart out here that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. So he couldn't even fit in there. Anyways, we added in this little house right here, which was very, very fun to do. And it's cool seeing it with our new glass textures. We've added those guys in recently as well. Then coming over into this area, we added in a few more fields. I believe this wheat field right here might be new. And then we added in a horse corral stables area over here based off of a random design that I found on Pinterest. Thought it was very cool. And we got a bunch of horses that we captured and brought into here. So they're all chilling. They got a little pond, they got a tree, and they're just hanging out in here. All these guys are really cool. And yeah, that was very fun to do another little build throughout here. We finished building the wall going from, I believe it was at that tower right there. It might have been that one, going all the way down to there as well. So we got a lot of work done on the wall. That was all done through live stream stuff. So no episodes of that because we spent a long time actually on episodes building up the wall for going the rest of this way so far, which was really cool to get that stuff settled in over there. The city is going to be pretty massive. As you can see, the wall here is already very massive, and it's probably not even a third of the way done. Going around the entire city, I'm hoping it's a little bit up there. Anyways, coming into the city, everything in here is more or less, some parts are new, some parts are not new. A lot of the new stuff is actually just the big old castle right over here. This little boat guy right here is new as well, which is cool, adding in a little bit of a cargo ship almost that would be able to travel just in a close proximity. Got a few of the patrons down there hanging out, moving some luggage and things like that around on the ship. I did want to come over into this area to quickly show you guys what's going on throughout the city, because one area where I tried adding in a lot of the patrons is actually inside the city itself. For example, this guy right here is Dragon Tech. He's been the longest supporter on Patreon. He actually found me over there way before I actually announced anything ever. And he started funding me there, which was very cool. So hopefully you realize that you didn't find a random account there. Anyways, we got a few more of them dotted around up here, which is very cool seeing everybody in here. It just makes the city feel much more alive. I'm trying to not overcrowd it with people. So I think we gotta start building up the city a little bit faster here to make more space for adding people in without making this area feel overcrowded. But it's very cool being able to walk around this place and see all you guys in here as well, so I don't feel like I'm playing in a single player world anymore. I feel like I got some friends in here. They might be mannequins and never move, and they're consistently staring at things, but you guys are in here too with me, which is just great. Coming back here, this area is not very new, but it's very cool. Just a little back alleyway coming into a park area where you got a few more people hanging out back here, reading some books, hanging out. I grabbed some enchanted books that I had lying around and threw them in people's hands. I tried going with like a leather armor color that matched a little bit of what the hair or whatever hat people were wearing. So it looked pretty cool, like this guy was a log, so he can hold a log, and he's got some brown armor on. Coming back here, we got a little bit of a blacksmith area. One of our patrons right there is hammering away at everything, which is really cool. All that cool stuff coming in here throughout. Then everybody over here, we got this little dude hidden right down in there. And lots of people just here eating some bread, chilling around the area, just having a good time, hanging out in the city of Port Latour as we're building it up. We got 2 people in there on our cart, bringing it into the town, having a great time. Somebody here is trying to sell some fishies to everybody, and all that is very cool. Probably what a lot of you have been waiting to see so far, as we have looked at it many times walking around this area so far, is the big old castle here in the background. This is, I believe we ended up calling it the Arcanum. I might be wrong there. I think it was the Arcanum. This is supposed to be a giant fantasy wizard castle. So I thought it was really cool to bring a lot more of the magical elements into it, especially with our floating ender crystals in here. Those are very explosive. Do not touch. If you download the world, you probably will kill yourself if you blow those up. We got a few more houses that we need to build up in this area, something like a dorm for some students, and also maybe like a small magic shop or something like that over in that one. There's a lot of people hanging out in this area. Since it's more complete for the exterior, I felt more comfortable bringing a lot of the patrons in here just to hang out. Maybe this guy here he's trying to use his little magical wand or something to cast a spell up in here. Maybe he's the one in charge of keeping these end crystals in sync, which he's not doing too great of a job at. Coming inside the main gate of the castle, though, we have a central courtyard area in here that's pretty cool. We got a magical tree in here that's forever growing, all that stuff. It's got like a little glow around it, everything, which actually just sea lanterns underneath those guys, which works out great. Had a lot of fun building this one up. It's very cool seeing this almost Harry Potter-esque vibe, but not Harry Potter at all. I tried taking a lot of inspiration from Hogwarts itself, as well as looking at a few of the mage guilds and castles and things over in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which was really cool seeing all those things. And here's our storage room, which is a massive mess. I do need to come in here and fix up all this stuff, but here's a lot of the loot that we had left. We got a lot of shulker boxes of stone still, because I did not want to run out, so I did a massive mining spree recently, just in case we needed stuff. This is going to be a big feast hall when we eventually come back in here. One quick way that we can actually get up to the top of this build, currently the only way, actually, if you guys want to walk around the world, is to take this tower all the way up to the top. You'll see a doorway right here in front of us, and that gets us outside to our wonderful view of our vineyard, which is just great. I love the view down here. It's very cool seeing all this stuff hanging out here. The whole lake bed down there has been recently transformed and stocked full of fish, so you can watch all the fishies swim around, all the rocks and all that cool stuff. Everything around here has been pretty much terraformed and custom done by hand. I still want to come along here and do that guy very soon to make the trees look a little bit better than they do right now. Overall, I think it's enough for what we have. Obviously, very safe walkways on a full floor inside of this area right here. But just if we quickly walk out here to the other side, this is again on the upper part of the central courtyard. There's a tree in there. Got a lot of the different buildings for the castle in here. That's the gatehouse right there. We got, basically the idea was having 4 different towers that would all be representing some sort of a school of magic. I was originally going to do a lot of different stark colored changes and differences inside the towers themselves, like have a red one for the pyromancers and have like a green one for like the arbor druids or something like that. And then have like a black one, maybe if we have some necromancers. But I decided that would be a little too extreme for the color theme in here. So we got a pretty blue, consistent color going around for the castle to make it feel much, much more magical than anything else, which is very cool. I love the look of the castle up here. It's very awesome. Just seeing all the different types of towers and everything. We actually found a use for purpur as well, which was really cool to be able to bring some purpur in here. Had so much fun building up this one. It's been a lot of blocks placed though, so I'm excited to move on. I'm ready to move on, and it's been very fun working on everything in here, but like I said, it's been a lot of blocks placed in one small area. You will all have seen this stuff within the last few episodes as well. I just want to retouch on it here. We are working on this big old area back here, which is very cool, housing like a shield generator using another ender crystal here, which that thing, I did test it in a duplicate of a world, literally blows up the entire thing here, so don't touch it. But very fun to do all this stuff. Had so much fun this one. It gives me an idea because you can move those around with pistons. Sorry. Potential redstone idea from Whip here. I've seen other people do like nuclear missiles or things like that using flying machines. But why don't we just use one with an end crystal? People are like trying to load TNT up on them. Why don't we use an end crystal to push that stuff around? I don't know. General idea I had. Coming down here though, this is the main hall area. So inside of this is the idea of where like the archmage or whatever, he would have his area back here where he would be able to oversee everything. This could be his office, and then out here we would have some seats and thrones and stuff around this area for the different wizards that are like the leads of it. And this will bring us back into the courtyard out here, just quickly coming out into this guy, which is very cool. We got lots of stuff in here. All these things all over the place, just different corridors that you guys can explore and find that there's nothing inside them. We will come back eventually and add these things up. I've at least thrown doors in every single which way in here, so it's not like open rooms leading up into everything. These ones actually threw the floor in, whereas the storage room over there is no floor inside of it. Overall though, very, very happy with this one. Had so much fun building this thing up. I'm very excited to move forward with it and adding new things in all throughout, which will be very cool. Coming here in the next few episodes, I want to really start focusing on this area that we are standing right outside, which will be like another little bit more of an industrial dock theme type area. I don't want to go all full grand outblown like we have the front of the harbor area over there. I wanted that to be a little bit more richer and everything. So coming in here, I wanted this area right here to be a little bit more chill and laid back and more industrial type, as maybe the wizards and the mage guild over here or the castle isn't like the most prestigious part of the city. Like they love what they do and they have their area here, but maybe it looks like a little bit more castaway off to the more industrial side of the area, which is kind of the idea that I want to fill this place with. So it's not quite as grand and crazy looking as the area out here. Sorry if there's some leg spikes going on. I'm not too sure what would be causing that right now. One thing I do want to do is I want to tear down that big old ice structure out there, one of the big old glaciers, so we can actually have some cool areas to look at. But more or less what we have covered right now is pretty much everything that we have looked at in the entire world so far, especially in the last 25 episodes. That pretty much covers a lot of what we've done there. So there's a few old things that I just love inside this world that I would love to be able to show you guys that we don't really see too often. So coming out over this way to the edge of the city, just as a heads up, a lot of where I've been getting the stone mined up from has been this region right here as we are stretching through, bringing it all the way out through this area. It's going to come and connect the city up to the coast area out here, which will be very, very cool. Once that is up there, and in probably another 100, 150 episodes, we'll see where we're where we're looking at with that one. Who knows what this area is going to be looking like. I love having this as a forever project though, so it's not something that I'm like, man, I got to get this done in the next 3 months. It's something that I plan to consistently build up as we go throughout this world and tackling different projects and stuff. And maybe by the time we hit like episode 400 or 500, this area will start to look like a full-on overgrown city that's just sprawling all over the place, which I'm like super excited about. Leaving the city, though, we are now heading to the west side of the city, which is towards the main ocean area, which we've dotted a few builds along in this area. There's a little bit of a village out in here that's a little messed up, actually. This village right here has been regenerated, I think, like 6 or 7 times now, just through different updates, and I've been trying to like clear out chunks, so there's a lot of partial houses in here. So I'm thinking we might just need to come through and tear these guys all down and maybe rebuild it out here as something like a little village on the outer skirts of the city itself. But that being said, over in this area, there actually is a little bit of a village hidden back here in the woods themselves. I've always called this one like a Robin Hood themed village. Basically like the people who are hiding out here in the trees. Maybe they're plotting to like rebel against the city itself, which is really cool. I really, really like this one. Back in that area back there, if you go explore back there, there's a little bit of like an archery training camp where they're maybe training up the militia to fight against the evil people that are maybe ruling the city, or maybe they just think they're evil over here. We got a little bit of a coal mine right here, which could have been why this city or this village was established back in this area. That being said, there's not a whole lot in there. It's mostly just covered in leaves and trees. So I'll let you guys explore that one yourselves, because that's a bit of an older project. So we've touched on that quite a few times in world tours. I want to try and focus on some of the more new things inside of the world, which leads me to, there's a few things out over in this direction. Just going to use the old rockets here to boost us forward and skip past a lot of stuff, because this is just plain old roadway right out here. Coming up to our first castle, though, that we built inside of the world, which was super fun to do. This one is Castle Bleakrock. This is supposed to be the castle that defends that inner ocean area where our other castle in the city harbor right now is set on. Over there is actually, this is the only waterway that actually gets entrance into that area itself at all. So I want to build up a huge castle here to more or less defend that region, which is very cool. We got a bunch of farms and a bunch of like the original locals who might have lived on this point of the land before the castle area, before the castle was built up. So maybe these farms and things are older and they've just been in the region forever. So the big old castle right here is very, very cool. I really love this one. I had so much fun building this gap. Give you guys a little bit more of an aerial view of it. I know normally I do these world tours in creative, but there's no guest today, so I figured we should probably stay in the survival mode since it's still on my local computer and not a copy of the world. I had so much fun with this one, though. It's been almost a year since we built this up, so it was really fun taking a lot of the elements that we really enjoyed out of this castle here and trying to transcribe them into more of a magical wizard theme of the castle that we built up recently over at the Arcanum in the city for the wizards. And yeah, this one looks very cool here. I don't know, which castle do you guys like more? Let me know down in the comments. We got Bleakrock or we got hashtag Arcanum. I don't know, hashtag Bleakrock, hashtag Arcanum. Let me know down there. I'm curious to hear which ones you guys like more. That being said, we do have a little bit of a fishing village down here, which was very cool. I had a lot of fun building this guy up. This was another stream project that we did, so he's a little bit of an older one. There's not a whole lot of videos for it, but we built up our first boat inside the world here on stream, which actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. And we just built up this little bit of a fishing village down here, trying to make it look like people saw the castle come up here, then they were like, you know what? I want to go live out on the coast too, so I'm going to go out there and start my life as a fisherman and live out on the edge of on the edge of the ocean, all that good stuff. Coming up here, though, we do have a little bit of a shrine leading out over to the ocean, going back to like the old people that lived here. I figure they had like those stone houses, the old indigenous people in this land, so they had their shrine to like their sea god or whoever it might be out here, which is doing all that stuff, making all the fishies in the ocean, all that cool stuff over. Look at that, we got a dolphin who's just not moving over there. Anyways, if you head off directly in that direction, you will actually find an ocean monument that we have drained out. If you want to see more of the survival grind of how all that stuff works in here. Beyond that, inside of these episodes, we actually, don't take any damage. We took a lot of damage. We also, outside of just building up these areas that we visited so far, inside this 25 episodes, we set up a gold farm, which is very cool, being able to build up one of those guys. We just built up one of the Il Mango designs. It's in the Nether if you guys want to go check that out. Don't want to spend too much time on it because it's not the most interesting thing. Just kind of like, hey, here's a gold farm. It does gold farm things. But guys, that is pretty much going to have to do it for today's episode. I really hope you guys are still enjoying this series and are as excited as I am for the future of the series, where we're going to be going. I got a lot of plans for things to be adding into this world. As you can see, this area needs to be turned into a city. We got a bunch of different districts that need to be built up and a bunch of different things that need to be added in here. And then, of course, when we get into 1.14, we got to come and basically rebuild everything to be able to use the new 1.14 blocks to make it look even better. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Hopefully you guys are excited for this one. Please hit that like button if you are. Also, if you enjoy this video, I would very much appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and want to be seeing more of this stuff coming very soon. And I will catch you on the flip side.